Hey, ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Welcome back. This is Force, and besides having my voice crack, apparently, today we're going to be taking a look at Paragon. I know, it's been so long, I feel like it was weeks ago, because it was, that I actually took a look at this game, but the NDA has finally lifted, and that of course means that I can show you some gameplay, and I can talk with you about the game finally. I've had so many people asking, what did you, because I told everyone that we were going to look at the game, but then we come there, we get there, the NDA's in place, and we're like, oh, okay, well, I can't talk about it, so I almost wish I didn't tell anybody that I was going. So we're going to just sit down. This is going to be a pretty casual video in that I don't have any real plans. I didn't write up a script or talking points or anything. It's just going to kind of be fly by the seat of my pants. We'll look at some gameplay. I'll talk with you about what we're looking at, and I'll sort of give you my impressions, my thoughts about everything as we go through. And we'll see if we can go through this entire match. I think it's about 30 minutes in total length. I don't know if I'm going to have enough to talk about for a full 30 minutes, but I guess we'll see. And don't worry, I'll talk about everything that's been happening so far and everything that you've seen so far. But before we do that, I just want to lay out a couple things. So first and foremost, if you couldn't tell already by some of the things of the UI and that card screen that we just took a look at a minute ago, this is very early. It's an incredibly early build, and it is certainly far from finished. Now, the game, the way it looks, well, first off, it looks great. I mean, look at this. Unreal Engine. It is freaking gorgeous. This is beautiful. This is one of the best looking multiplayer games I've ever played. But, like, the UI stuff certainly needs some work. The way things are represented on the bottom left and bottom right. So bottom right is your abilities. Bottom left are, that's basically where you put things. It shows, like, where you've got passive buffs. It shows where you have potions and sentry wards and things like that. I just think, honestly, everything about that portion of the UI is bad. It's not clear. It looks tacked on, but, you know, again, very early build. They've got plenty of time to work on those things, and as far as I'm aware, they're working on those very things that I mentioned. Fingers crossed, anyways. And it's also worth noting, before we get into too much of the details and talking about the gameplay and what you're seeing and all of that, I am not a Paragon expert. I played for several hours, yes, but I don't know the name of all the heroes. I certainly don't know the names of all the abilities or the card buffs or anything like that. But I've got the premise of the game. I played enough to get a general understanding, and that's what we're going to focus on here. So if you're coming here and you're a diehard Paragon fan and you're looking for like breaking info that you've never heard of before, you're probably not going to get that in this video. But if you just want a general sort of lay of the land of what Paragon is, that is what we'll be talking about. That is what we'll be focusing on. So what is Paragon? That's a great question. It is a MOBA in every sense of the word. As you can see in the mini-map in the upper right-hand corner, there are 3 lanes. As you can see on the screen in front of you, there are creep. And we've got heroes in each of the lanes pushing that creep towards, you guessed it, towers. We're pushing towards towers and eventually trying to get to our opponent's main base. And you know what else they have? I don't even remember what they're called, but they basically have these cores that when you destroy them, the creeps in that lane get stronger. I mean, it is a MOBA. You know what this is. You know what this game is in terms of the general rules and functionality. It is like so many MOBAs that exist on the market today, in that sense. And in ways that it differs, well, it's the third person. Now, that's being done as well in other games. We, of course, have Smite, and they've done, I think, a great job. That's a game that I played a lot of, I really enjoyed, but it looks different. I mean, the visual styles here are much more sort of cutting-edge, realistic, as opposed to Smite's cartoony vibe. And something I will say about this game that I really enjoy is I think the character designs of the different characters in this game are amazing. Like, there are some, like, look at, we've got 3 different heroes on the screen right now. Like, there's some really cool looking characters. Some really, really cool looking characters in this game. And you got a little bit of a stealth Reno there. That's basically the bush. So yeah, that's what the game is. MOBA, 3 lanes, creep push, kill towers, push towards the enemy base, kill the cores or power rag, whatever they're called, get stronger creep, keep on pushing until you destroy the enemy base and win the game. So what else is going on here? Well, let's do a quick little overview again of the UI. Couple of things. Stats in the upper left, that's going to show kills, assists, and deaths. Top of the screen shows the total duration of the game so far, and then when someone dies, you'll get that tick down timer of their icon going from when they start their death all the way up until they're about to respawn. Obviously, the upper right is the mini-map. Lower right, as I mentioned, are the abilities. As it stands right now, it's really hard to tell. Like, it all almost looks the same. I think the patterns, I think things need to be more distinct, need to be more obvious. I definitely think that part of the UI needs a ton of work. But essentially, it's your abilities. It's your ultimate, your basic attack, your left and right click, your Q and your R, and then your ultimate ability. That's what it is. So that's that there. And then in the center, we've got your health and your resource, which I don't even know if it's called mana, but it's something along those lines. And again, people might be like, "Oh my God, you don't know anything." I'm not an expert, man. I went to check out the game and played it, but I don't know everything. I don't know the names of everything, the names of all the heroes. But I think you guys will get the gist of what I'm saying. And then lastly, the bottom left once more, that's going to show potions, sentries, basically items that you buy, whether they be passive buffs or utility items in the shop, which we'll be seeing the shop again once we go back to the main base. So the character that I'm playing is a character by the name of Twin Blaster. And as far as I recall, he is an AD carry. I basically, when we started the match, I said, all right, who can I play that's going to hit things really hard? I'd like to get kills. And this is the one that they suggest. So he has got a left attack of just basic pistols. You'll see him just shooting here with his two little guns. His right attack is that maneuver ability, which I used a couple of moments ago. It's like a short-range dash. And then he's also got, I think we just picked up we're going to pick up our ultimate. There we go. His ultimate are these like crazy blasters that it just turns your hands into like these here it is. My hands turn into these crazy guns, and if I knew how to aim, oh no wait, I do know how to aim. He just had a shield up. But it basically does a boatload of damage. The character that we're playing against, I think he's got like a shotgun type weapon. And he puts down mines and stuff, but he also has the ability to put down a shield. And actually, what I just put down there was a sentry. So those three items I have in the bottom left are a healing potion, a mana potion, and a sentry ward to basically check in the jungle. And again, as being essentially a traditional MOBA, it has a jungle. Most certainly, it has a jungle. And another cool thing here is the potions, they have charges. So basically at the start of the game, you will buy the healing and mana potion. And they have 3 charges each. Oh God, I got flanked. Oh no, get out of there. Go into the invisibility. Oh, okay, I'm pretty sure I'm dead here. I can't imagine myself escaping from this. Yeah. Oh, wait, did I? Oh my, no, I'm definitely dead. So that's one of those situations where I kind of overextended. My team wasn't around. And I died as a result. But this now gives us an opportunity to check out the shop. So we've got the cards like the potions that we already have, but then we've got these abilities like this amulet, which is going to increase some of my damage, I think it was damage and attack speed or something, but basically it will alter your stats. And then within these amulets and things of this nature, you can put additional benefits like increase attack speed or crit percent or crit damage, or return healing or health. There's all these modifiers that you can put in these items that you'll get. So you'll basically get passive items that have benefits like increased attack speed or increased damage, whether it be physical or magical. And then on top of that, you can modify it further by giving yourself more damage. There's 3 slots in each of those items, by either giving yourself more damage or more crit or more health or whatever. So there's a lot of customization. It's not just you're getting these items and then that's that. But you also get that extra customization. Now, the other 2 abilities that I have, one of which you just saw, is like this area damage dealing ability. That's I think it's the R. And then the other ability that I have, the Q, is a increase in attack speed. And this was one of my first, so there it is. I just used that ability again. So you can see I launch it out, and it does a little bit of area damage, just a little bit of damage to people there. And I believe, I could be incorrect, I believe it also slows people down. And then my Q ability, that is the ability that increases my attack speed. And since you know, I think this was like my second game, so still kind of learning things, still kind of figuring things out. And I don't know that I actually used it too often as a result. Frankly, I don't think I did. What are those little circles on the ground you're asking? Well, one of the opposing heroes that was in this lane, he places those down, and those are essentially little proximity mines that they'll pop, and it'll hurt. It'll hurt. All right, so we're going to push forward here. We're pushing on the first tower. It looks like our team has taken out a tower to the far right. And this guy got up in my face, so I decided to back up. But there's that Twin Blasters again, my ultimate ability. And I think he was just out of the range, because it doesn't look like I did any damage to him whatsoever. Oh, and there's his ultimate, so he's got this long-range, heavy dealing. It actually reminds me a lot of Ra's ability, if you guys ever played Smite. And I'm sure there's other MOBAs where there's correlation there as well, but you know, I haven't played all of the MOBAs. I couldn't tell you exactly. You also see that my charges there have been, I've used up one of each. I really almost back up into mine. All right, so, yeah, you get a quick glance of all my abilities whenever we level up. I believe it was to hold down control, and then you just click whatever one you need there. And that's, and that will upgrade it, is how that whole system works. That's how that whole system works. But you'll notice on the left-hand corner, I talked about the charges for those potions. Notice the healing one that's on cooldown now, just finished, that has 1 charge left. The mana one above it, just used again, is now down to 1 charge. So again, as I mentioned prior, there's going to be 3 charges for each of those. So it's really nice. I don't have to, it's not one of those games where every time I go back to base, you've got to keep rebuying potions if you want to use them. It's like, no. You'll always have them. Going back to base will refill them. You just have to buy them once at the start of the game. And that seemed to be the meta that the developer presented us with. They were like, start of the game, buy a turret, buy a sentry ward, and buy those potions. That's the best thing. A little bit of fight here in the jungle. I decided to go and help my friend. I think we hit that Q there. And then we're going to put this thing out as well. And yeah, that's taken care of, man. Working together. Teamwork's important. A little camouflage ability from what's essentially the shrubbery, the hiding spots, which a lot of these MOBAs have. I mean, in its basic structure, it is a basic MOBA. It's got all those things. What's going to make you want to play this MOBA over other MOBAs? Maybe you like the character design. Maybe you like the way the game looks. Maybe you like the third person, and there's not too many of those. Again, there's Smite, but there's not many. What's that other one? Super Monday Night Combat. Wasn't that also a similar game? Wasn't that also MOBA-like? I know there's been several, but Smite's really the only successful one, as far as I'm concerned, the one that's continued to be successful. And we'll see if this is going to be another one. You know, I can tell you, we were talking a little bit about what's going on, what we're seeing on screen and things, and I just got smashed there. Way to go, Nas. But I haven't really talked too much about my impressions. It's fun to play. I had a good time playing it. And I really can't get over how gorgeous it looks, but graphics don't carry a game. Of course not. The gameplay is fundamental. As far as I'm aware, I will be getting into future testing. And when the NDA lifts on that testing, I know this NDA is lifted for the event that I went to, but when we get access and can publicly stream this game and talk about it, I am definitely going to be giving it more time. I liked it enough to want to give it more time and give you more solid impressions. And even though we did get to play for a couple of hours, that's not, in the grand scheme of things, that's not that much. And especially in a game like this, there's a lot to learn. And I'm not going to lie, there were times where I'm like, I have no clue what's going on. Because there's so much to learn in these games. There's so much to figure out. All the different heroes and all their different abilities. And the way they can be modified. Like I talked about how you got that amulet. And I could go damage focused. I could add a little bit more tankiness. I could go for a crit build. I could go for a attack speed build. There's so many different variations. And that's a lot of learning time. And I think we're trying to set up a gank here. And there it is. There's my twin blasters plus my teammate just demolished. And then I'm getting hit by... Oh, no! The turret killed me. Here's one of our friends. This is a cool hero. I think this is the one that can basically go across the map. So there's the amulet. I'm going to put up some more strike in it, so some additional damage. And I've got more card points. You see those card points in the lower left? That is what you use to purchase these things. The amulets, the spear, the adamant edge, the blade. All of this stuff is purchased with card points. So the card points, these things cost 3, and then we place things in them that cost, these things cost 3 here as well. And there's different variations. There's better and lesser variations. And the way it works out of game, we're not going to really take a look at it here, but you basically are going to build these decks which have these items in it. These amulets, these potions, these augments to your amulets, and again, all that stuff we took a look at. These passive buffs to your character, you build a deck choosing the passive buffs that you want and choosing the augments for those buffs that you want to increase. And there is like basically a total deck size, so it's sort of like... I want this amulet. I want this other passive buff. All right? And all of this will take up space in your deck. And then you decide, okay, what augments do I also want in my deck? I want the damage one. I want the crit one. I want the attack speed one. And you keep filling up your deck with these augments until your deck is full, and that is what you pull from when you're building stuff. Now, it's not randomized. It's just you're basically building up what you'll have access to in game. It's not like a card game in the sense that, oh, you build your deck and then you randomly draw what you have access to. No. You build your deck and you've got access to everything. It's just a matter of what you want that everything to be. So am I just going to get a ton of attack speed and crit and no health augments? I could probably do that. You know, you have those different options. You have those different choices. All right, so we're now pushing the right lane, and you actually just saw me go into travel speed. It was very brief, but yeah, this game has a run thing. So sort of like how Heroes of the Storm has mounts. It's not mounts, but you can basically go into travel form. And when you're in travel form, you will move faster, as one would assume. But if you are hit while in here it is. Here's the ult. Look at that damage. Oh my goodness. And all these little orbs on the ground. This is the experience. So you'll kill things and you'll pick up those orbs, and that will get you experience. And then also in the process, we talked about cards for purchasing stuff earlier. You get cards also by going out there and playing the game. You and your team will accumulate cards, and then you use those cards to make those purchases back in the store. So yes, in the travel mode, you run faster, but you have that danger of if an opponent player hits you, not if NPCs. NPCs can hit you and you'll be fine. But if an opposing, I think this was really stupid. Did I just overcommit and die here? I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, I'm not getting away from this. No way in hell. But if an opposing player hits you, then you're going to be rooted in place. And a lot of times that probably means you're pretty screwed. Guess it depends on if you have a healer with you or if you have a lot of defensive abilities, which, yes, mind you, those things exist. There are defensive characters with shields and bubbles and walls, and there are characters that heal. I didn't play one, though, so I'm not actually entirely certain how the healing works in this game. But as far as I'm aware, there is healing that exists. So there's the Scout's Ward. And something else you see up there is that Harvester Key. I didn't pick one of those up, but that's another mechanic that's in this game that I didn't talk about too much. So we talked about the lanes, and we talked about the fact that there's a jungle that exists, but I haven't gone into detail as to what exists in that jungle. So it's got the traditional group of enemies, and you kill that group of enemies, and you can either just get some experience from it, or there are enemy groups, mobs, if you will, packs, jungle packs, whatever phrase you want to use. There are also versions of those that give you buffs. Things like increased attack speed or increased damage, things along those lines. So that, yeah, there's jungle camps that just give you experience. There's jungle camps that buff you up. Look at that. That's a scary ability there. That's the opponent is Gideon. That's his name. I always call him Jace. No, he's Gideon. He's a caster. That's that other guy that you're seeing in the line. I remember a few of the characters' names. Gideon especially because, well, magic. Magic the Gathering is why I remembered Gideon. So he's pushing up on us, and he's laying down the meteor smackaroo on our head, trying to kill our tower. But also something that's in that jungle are these harvester nodes. And you can use one of those keys, if someone on your team buys it, to unlock this node, and it basically gives you resources for your team. All right, so we're going to push up on Gideon. Here is my twin blasters, but oh no! The rogue character came. She disappeared pretty quickly, though. Looks like Gideon got away. You saw those little purple orbs there. That was teleportation. There's just so much. Whenever you see a new game like this, there's so much going on. There's so much to pay attention to. And the fact that, you know, I haven't played this game for hundreds of hours or even tens of hours, but I played it enough to get the general grasp. And I hope that's good for you. I hope that's coming through for you in this video, and you guys are at least getting a basic understanding. You know what? And I am almost certain. All right, so here's the deal. The reason this video is up right now is because the embargo has lifted. There will be other content, and there is bound to be other content from people who are experts on this game. So if that is what you're looking for, you can certainly have it. There will be someone out there who can tell you the exact vocabulary for every single thing that I'm talking about, what it means, what it gives you, everything. I'm here to just more give you a general idea. And I hope that this is proving to be valuable for you, to at least give you the basics. I mean, it's fun. Again, it was a fun time. I had a good time playing Paragon, and I am really looking forward to when we can stream. Oh, we almost got him. Did we get him? It's so close. Yeah. Twin Blaster. I think at this point in the build, they said he might have been a little bit overpowered. Twin Blaster might need a little bit toning down. The Twin Blaster that you guys see when this game becomes available to play for the public might look a little different from the Twin Blaster you see here. Or at the very least, he might hit a little less hard. Because, yeah, he's kind of absurd right now. He seems that way anyways. So, yeah, you kill things. Last hitting is a thing. Forgot to mention that earlier. So you can get last hits on enemies. And that's going to give you additional benefits. Additional XP and whatnot. I'm going to push this tower, huh? This was a very good game. You know, I had a couple games recorded. Obviously. Why wouldn't I? I picked one of the better games that I played. But at the very same time, this was once more the second game. Oh, no, he's up here, and we're going to try to dash away. There's our dash ability. He's still chasing, though. You going to slow him down? Here it is. So, yeah, I'm fairly certain at this point that that ability also slows down, if memory serves me correct. Because there would have been no other reason for me to drop that down if it didn't. And then you can see that little glowing around us. That's because we activated our mana potion, and that is now recharging us. I'm probably gonna be an idiot. It's probably called energy or something. It's health and mana. You guys, you call it whatever you want. You know what it is. All right, so here's a camp that just came back. Me and my teammate taking care of business, and I got a buff. So now we're gonna smack some people pretty hard. Look at this just disappear. Oh, Gideon. Oh, no, it's a huge blast. A big team fight happening here. This is exciting. Something else that was pretty cool that they showed us, we got a brief look at, was the replay system. I mean, they are, being a MOBA, they are going into this thing with the full intention of it being a competitive esports game. That is their game plan. That's what they're shooting for. And I talk about this a lot. And I even I mentioned this to them as well. At one point when we were there, they said, do you guys have anything you want to share with us? Any thoughts? Any suggestions? You know, we're new into this particular space. Epic's been around for a while, but they're new into this space, and they wanted some ideas just from people who have been around covering games, playing games, etc. And one of the things I said was, one of the problems that I've been seeing in recent years, because esports is becoming so popular, more and more people are picking up and more games are trying to get a piece of that pie. I mentioned the idea of putting the cart before the horse and how you should try not to do that. You know, people will come out before these games even out and say, this is going to be a competitive esport, but you need to know if anyone wants to play your game before you decide to make it a competitive esport. And they were receptive to that. Now I decided to absorb that just to make sure no one else accidentally hit it when they're running away for their life, you know. But they were receptive to that. They said, you know what? We agree. What we're going to focus on first is making this the best game it can be. And hopefully a community revolves around it. And if it does, that's when we'll really focus on, you know, supporting a tournament scene or what have you. But at the very least, at the onset, they are making certain to have the pieces in place that if it becomes a competitive game, things will be there. So that includes a good replay system, an ability for people to commentate on live games, to view live games in a spectator mode. And with the replay system, they've got all sorts of camera angles and different editing and stuff you can do. So we're going to be back right now. It's pretty... The animations, I mean, again, the looks of this game are stellar. That is undeniable. All right, so we're going to purchase some increase here. We're going to get increased physical damage. And then major wound, which I think was increased crit chance. Yeah, there it is. We're going to get some... Look how many card points we've got right now. So many card points. And then we decide, do we want strike or more major wound? I don't remember what I go for. Got 12 card points. That's 2, 2, and 3 is the cost for those. And here's all my stats on the side here. I don't know why I was pointing to that. Maybe I was probably asking one of the developers something. I'm assuming anyways. All right, so it looks like I'm just going to go for straight base damage. I just want to hit harder, plain and simple. And then this is where they told me actually that I could sell stuff. So I can trash this ward, but that also means it's a card. So I'm going to trash that to get more passive benefits. But because I trashed it, I can actually never get it back. So that means that if you buy the sentry early and decide to trash it later on, you can never pick up the sentry again. So it sort of makes you decide, like, maybe I don't want to do that. Maybe I don't wait till later, and then eventually I trash my mana potion to pick up a sentry ward. But you know, so it's a kind of decisions that you can make in those games. But yeah, the way it works is you've got those cards, you fill up your stuff. Once it's full, you can start replacing things, but trashing will remove those cards forever. Is the general idea. So there's a big team fight going on over here, and we're gonna head out to join it. I do also have my ultimate ability up. Look at that huge wall again, man. Some of the character designs and everything. Oh, he disappeared. That was probably unnecessary since there was 3 of us there and 1 of him, but, you know, I picked the AD carry for a reason. It's because I want to blow things up. So when I get the opportunity to blow something up, I'm going to blow it up. And now their entire team's dead, and here you see me go into travel mode, so there it is now. We got the increased speed. So once more, if an NPC hits me in this mode, no big deal. But if a player hits me in this mode, I will be rooted in place. So that's the danger. That's the thing you got to look out for. So we push forward here, and I think at this point we're just going to take out the tower and win the game. If it's not right at this second, it's pretty damn soon. You know, by now I've given you guys a pretty good overall understanding of what this game is. And once more, it's fun. I still need to spend more time with it before I can really give you true impressions. And I'm sure they would love me to tell you, oh, this is such a great game. Can't wait to play it. And it is true. It is a fun game. And I am looking forward to playing it. But I don't know that I'm willing to put the stamp on any game with so little playtime as to how good it really is or isn't. Right now, it's another MOBA. It's a pretty MOBA. And it seems well polished and fun to play. Longevity, how interested am I in actually playing it in the long term? Way too early for any of those things. Way too early to comment on any of those things. But right now, I'm looking forward to giving it a look. I truly am. Like, I want this game to be in a publicly streamable state so I can start playing it throughout the week on my stream, making some videos on it and giving you some further in-depth thoughts. But yeah, there you go, guys. There it is, finally, Paragon. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed my thoughts, giving you a little basic overview. Once again, the embargo has lifted, so you're going to see footage out the wazoo everywhere. So stay tuned if you guys want more in-depth, more detailed footage, more discussion. It's out there. It exists. Don't you worry. All right, guys. That is going to do it for me here today. I'll let this footage play out, though, until we fully demolish the enemies. But I don't have anything else to talk about. So thanks for watching. Hope you all have a fantastic afternoon. And until next time, I'll see you later.